Last night on Dynamite, Jack Perry was expecting to face ECW legend Jerry Lynn in a one-on-one match. Maybe even just a one-on-one confrontation, but obviously Jerry Lynn was not able to compete because he would have never been cleared to compete. He is retired. He will stay retired. Well, Jerry Lynn had a backup plan because he called a buddy of his, and out came the whole effing show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Rob Van Dam is all elite. And he confronted Jack Perry. They had a little bit of an altercation right there for a minute or so. They tried to get their shots in. Jack Perry, rightfully so, he's the heel. He tried to get a cheap shot with a chair. RVD avoided it. Tried to hit his signature maneuver. Jack Perry avoided it. And this will all lead into a match between the two, RVD and Jack Perry, at next week's Dynamite. Hopefully. And hopefully that match leads to Jack Perry getting the win over the whole effing show. Rob Van Dam, hopefully in as dominant a fashion as they can book it, because obviously Jack Perry's a heel. He's cowardly. He's going to try underhanded tactics. But overall, Jack Perry should not have any issues or any big issues to try to defeat a 52-year-old man. As much of a legend as RVD is, Jack Perry should have no issue defeating him in a singles bout. Now, with that said, hopefully that leads to Hook coming out, making the save, and we start getting this Hook Jack Perry program back on track. Try to get the momentum as high as possible for this feud, for this rivalry between two of AEW's most prominent young up-and-comers, which should be the focus of all elite wrestling. Get these young guys, get these newer stars, Jack Perry, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, Hook, so many more. Get them, Ricky Starks, of course. Get them over. Put them at the forefront. Put them on the spotlight. And only use guys, wrestlers, legends, wrestlers who are performers who are past their prime, like Rob Van Dam, to put over these guys. To put them over the top. To tell your audience that these guys are better than them, even though, yes, they are past their prime, but still, they beat legends, and they can use that in future rivalries and future programs. I'm hoping Rob Van Dam's debut is just a 2-week program. He debuts last night, and next week he falls at the hands of Jack Perry, and we never see him again in AEW. Because all elite wrestling should be putting over younger guys. They should be focusing on them in a very predominant fashion. And this goes with Chris Jericho as well, too. Chris Jericho is simply put at this point past his prime. He should retire. Again, that's just my opinion. But if Rob Van Dam does stick around for the long haul, or a longer career in AEW, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, then AEW is just wasting time, it's wasting money, wasting space on their already bloated roster, because it has become the law of diminishing returns when it comes to their debuts, when it comes to their returns. So many people in the past have returned for AEW, so many people in the past have debuted for AEW, and absolutely nothing has happened. And this is a story that we already saw with TNA back in 2010, back in 2011, 2012, 2013, and they ran out of money. The difference is AEW probably will not run out of money because they got the cons behind it. But back then, TNA wasted some of the best years of AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Kazarian, Daniels, Sabin, Shelley, so many more, Lethal, so many more. And the same cannot happen for this brand new class of future. They've got future stars in the making in AEW. That's what they should focus on. Again, RVD's return, I was kind of like, bleh. I've seen this in the past. I've seen this many times in the past. I've seen him wrestle at his best. I do not want to see him wrestle at 52 on AEW. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of you will not agree with it. I know a lot of you are just yelling at the screen right now, hating on me right now, because again, RVD is a legend. But if you ask me, RVD, Sting, Chris Jericho, The Big Show, all these stars in AEW should not be wrestling. They should not be performing on All Elite Wrestling. They should not be at the forefront. Their star power is very little for a company that should be building new stars, because that's the only way they'll be able to establish themselves. TNA already proved it. No matter how many big name stars you got, they had Hulk Hogan. Wasn't able to compete with WWE. Wasn't able to attract the crowds that WWE is, because they are the machine. The WWE is a machine in itself. So the best thing that they can do is build new stars, younger stars, build their own name. That's it. The alternative. That's what AEW should do. But overall, like I said, I'm hoping this is a 2-week program between RVD and Jack Perry. We don't see RVD anymore. Hook makes the save, and we get Hook as over as possible against Jack Perry. We get both of these guys over, because they are the future. They are the present and the future of All Elite Wrestling. But those are my thoughts on last night's segment of Wednesday Night Dynamite. I'm sure you have different thoughts, different comments on what transpired last night. So with that said, leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comments section below. In the meantime, tune in later on tonight to Access TV for another episode of Impact Wrestling. I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.